Hello all. In this session, I'm going to start module 1, that is Introduction to Civil Engineering. Before going to solve the problems, first we have to know the basic concepts of civil engineering and what are the different small areas or different fields are there in the civil engineering. We have to know that. So, in this session, I'm going to explain about the different fields of civil engineering. Okay, first we will see what is civil engineering and what are the duties of civil engineers, what is the roles of civil engineers. We'll see those topics first before going to the fields. Before going to definition, like I want to explain a very, common things that we are come across in the day-to-day life. From the morning till the end of our day, we'll come across so many civil engineering structures in our day-to-day life. For example, morning we'll get up and we'll go going for the freshen up, right? There you can see the pipelines which is in the washroom, pipelines which is designed in such a way that is also work of the civil engineers, right? The design of the pipelines or the water supply for the building or any structures, that is the role who civil engineers will going to take that duty. So after that, after getting up or after leaving our home or a building, so we are going to respective places for work or schools or colleges. So there, while traveling, we'll come across roads, bridges, dams, flyovers, etc. So that is also a contribution of civil engineers. After reaching, you're going to work or sit in the civil engineering structures, that is buildings, schools, colleges, etc. So from the morning till the end of the day, we are going to across so many civil engineering structures. So all that works, the contribution of civil engineers. So first, now I'll just see the definition of civil engineering. It is the professional engineering discipline that deals with the design, construction and maintenance of the physical and natural built environment, including public works such as roads, bridges, canals, dams, airports, sewage systems, pipelines, structural components of buildings and railways. As I said, from the morning till the day end of the day, we'll be come across so many different the structures which is contribution of the civil engineers. Civil engineering is traditionally broken into number of subdisciplines. As I told before, like we have to see the different fields in the civil engineering before going to solve the problems. So here we have traditionally broken up into a number of subdisciplines. It is considered the second oldest engineering discipline after the military engineering, and it is defined to distinguish non-military engineering from military engineering. Civil engineering takes place in the public sector, from that is municipal through to the national governments, and it is private sector from the individual homeowners through the international companies. Here we can see a different fields in the civil engineering, that is building materials, building construction, structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, hydraulics, water resources and irrigation engineering, water supply and sanitary engineering, environmental engineering, transportation engineering, town planning and architecture, and the surveying. These are the main subdisciplines in engineering. In the ninth one, you can see town planning and architecture. It is separated from the civil engineering actually. So here, that one topic we are not discussing. Other topics we are actually going to discuss briefly. Okay, first one, I'm going to start with the surveying. So I think surveying means you can see a person, the standing with the tripod, above that instrument will be fixed. So you can see in the roadside areas that they are going to survey a road or a bridge or a drainage system, etc. So surveying is the art of and science of determining the relative positions of various points or stations on the surface of the earth by measuring the horizontal and vertical distances, angles, heights, and taking the details of these points, and by preparing a map or a plan to a suitable scale. So actually surveying is a science of map making. We are just making the maps for the the construction of any structures. Before doing the plan, first we need to measure the land, horizontal, vertical, heights, everything. So examples I have given here. Activity involved in collection of topographic features, as I said, the earth surface that we need to measure, of a location of future construction. Feasibility survey, alternative surveys and more suitable methods will be evolved, and helps in the environmental impact assessment. Objectives. What are the main objectives of surveying? That is, execution of survey to collect the topographic data, calculation and analysis of data, plotting survey data, to create design maps, provision of line, grade, and other layout works. These are the main objectives we have in the surveying. So, the object of a surveying is to prepare a map or a plan to show the relative positions of the objects on the surface of the earth. The map or a plan is drawn for suitable scale, but the boundaries will be, the districts, states, and the countries too. And also, it is included details, different engineering features such as roads, railways, dams, canals, airports, etc. What are the uses of surveying? The surveying may be used for following purpose: to prepare a topographic map which shows the hills, valleys, rivers, villages, towns, etc., and to prepare the cadastral map which shows the boundaries of the fields, plots, houses, and other properties. Not only the surveying it using for the measuring of the horizontal or vertical heights, but it is also useful for the the plotting the boundaries for your plots, sites, houses, your properties. To prepare an engineering map which shows the position of engineering work such as buildings, roads, railways, dams, and canals, as I said before. Surveys determine the position of objects by measuring angles and distances. The factors that can affect the accuracy of their observations are also measured. They then use this data to create vectors, bearings, coordinates, elevations, areas, volumes, plans, and maps. Measurements are often split into horizontal and vertical components to specify the calculation. GPS and astronomic measurements also need a measurement of a time component. All examples I'm going to show here. Here you can see person is measuring the height of the pole. So before, in the olden days, we are using chains, the tapes to measure the land or any structure height, width, horizontally or vertically. But nowadays we are having a different equipments such as total stations, distance meters, photogrammetry. These are the few instruments, a few instruments we are using in the surveying. Here you can see a person, he is measuring the height of that pole. The same way here also you can see he is measuring width, I mean the horizontal measurement and the vertical measurement of the wall or a beam. Here you can see the distance of the wall or a room area. Here also the point which, the from the point A to the point B, which we need the distance from the point A. If you switch on the instrument, so you will get the radiations to the point B, and we can read the that measurement in the instrument. Here also he is measuring the width of the beam, right? So width of the beam in the standing in the one place, and he is switching that machine, that is distance meter. So from the uses of distance meter is to measure the height and the width of the beam, columns, any structures height, walls, width and horizontal and vertical components of the wall, etc. Here also you can see he's measuring the distance from point A to point B without using any old materials, that is chain, tapes, etc. So this is all about the surveying. We will go to the next discipline, that is one by one. That is, we have some nine different fields. We'll go to the next field now.